In the face of Trump taxes, how are the markets reacting? How, if we bring it back home, how is the shilling faring? What is going to be the impact? What's going to be the effect of Trump tariffs on other countries, on large economies back home? I am at Alpha Capital. I'm hosting an experienced financial markets guru, Stephen Kaboyo, to talk to us about what the effects are going to be like back in Africa or even back home. Yes, Stephen, you're welcome.
Thank you,
Talk
Malcolm.
to us.
Thank you, Malcolm.
The status of the markets.
Monday morning, when markets opened, there was a lot of chaos, panic all over the place. First of all, the US dollar gained record highs against all major currencies and even emerging market currencies. What that meant is everybody was running to a dollar for safe haven, seeing uncertainty in terms of US Trump administration policies, which are pro-growth, pro-inflationary. And of course, even conflicting with the monetary policy stance of the Federal Reserve. So it caused quite a chaos. There's a bit of cool-off now with the suspension of some of the tariffs, some of the two major trading partners of the US, Mexico and Canada, but there's no clarity in terms of what will happen 30 days down the road. So in terms of currencies are very, very, very uncertain. Markets, I would say, this is the highest risk mood we have seen in years in terms of trade policies, because really markets run on predictable set of rules and regulations that everybody can predict. But when you bring disruptions, you cause chaos. For example, this trade war, what I would call a trade war, with major economies in the world against the US, really the impact is not just the US, it cuts across. We shall also here in Uganda, the region, we shall face or feel the economic pain. So it cuts across because one is flows. If the FDIs will come down because everybody, North America, in Europe, will be concentrating on sorting out their domestic issues. Everybody is focusing on their own domestic markets protection. It leaves everybody out there. Going forward, what do I see? If you bring it closer to home, the question you asked, I think I see 5 areas of immediate impact in the very short term, but medium term as well. One of the things that is likely to happen, we're going to see shrinking credit markets, which means interest rates are going to rise to be able to deal with the inflation that is going to be caused across board. That will affect global economic growth. For me, that's a main worry. Analysts and research is already indicating that global growth is going to come down quite significantly because of the uncertainty in the US. So interest rates affect us, consumers. Because now what it means for Uganda, we shall have to deal with the depreciated currency against the US, because the US dollar will remain strong. So what does that mean for us? It filters through in terms of having a lot more dollars to be able to import, because we're a net importer. So that affects our reserves levels. It affects, more importantly, our debt service, which means we'll spend more dollars to service our domestic debt, our external debt, which is a big drain on our economy. The other impact is fuel prices. We're going to see global energy prices rise, and that hits us closer to home because it's inflationary through transportation costs and transport costs that will go up. So that's also an immediate impact. That's pathway number 3. The other one is really in terms of remittances. With these immigration new policies of deportations and things, many Ugandans will lose jobs. Many Ugandans will not be able to send money home. So remittances being one of our major flow channels, FX flow channels, is going to remain under pressure. Then lastly, pathway number 5 is the development finance, which comes through USID. You've heard about USID.
The USID closing in Washington.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that has also a knock-on effect. Uganda receives closer to $1 billion every year in development finance, which is targeted to health sector, education, civil society, all kinds of projects in Uganda, NGOs. So those charities are going to come down. Now, in terms of the government fiscal space, it leaves a very big space. How do we substitute that loss of funding